Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Mark Lynn. Namaskar. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates the Bocha Sanvasi Akshar Purushottam Swaminarayan Sanstha Temple in Abu Dhabi. The temple carries the message of harmony, love and tolerance for the world. Prime Minister Modi tells world governments, the summit there in Dubai, that the world needs inclusive and corruption-free governments, highlights the mantra of minimum government, maximum governance. Pakistan's main political parties agree to form a coalition government under Shahbaz Sharif. The PMLN and PPP together have a simple majority. Indonesia's Defence Minister Prabowo Subianto declares victory in the presidential election to succeed Joko Widodo, whose second and last term ends. And India will be taking on England in the third cricket test at Rajkot from February 15. The five-match series is currently tied 1-1. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday inaugurated the first and historic Bocha Sanvasi Akshar Purushottam Swaminarayan Sanstha or BAPS Hindu temple in Abu Dhabi in the UAE. The inauguration coincided with the auspicious occasion of Basant Panchami and the 159th birth anniversary of Shastriji Maharaj, the founder of the BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha. The Prime Minister performed rituals as part of the inauguration of the BAPS temple. Here's a report.
14th of February 2024 will be etched in the pages of history. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the newly constructed Swaminarayan Temple in Abu Dhabi. The temple has been constructed by BAPS. This temple is a unique example of the rich ties between India and the UAE. The BAPS temple is the first Hindu temple in Abu Dhabi. While addressing the inauguration ceremony, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the land of UAE has scripted a golden chapter in the history of humanity.
आज यूनाइटेड अरब अमीरात की धरती ने मानवीय इतिहास का एक नया स्वर्णिम अध्याय लिखा है। आज अबू धाबी में भव्य और दिव्य मंदिर का लोकार्पण हो रहा है। ये मंदिर पूरी दुनिया के लिए सांप्रदायिक सौहार्द और वैश्विक एकता का प्रतीक बनेगा।
Prime Minister Modi also performed some special rituals after invoking the statue of Akshar Purushottam. This Aarti ceremony was performed simultaneously in 1500 temples of BAPS as part of the global Aarti ceremony. The historic BAPS Swaminarayan Temple in Abu Dhabi marks a significant moment for the city's Hindu community. Public access to the temple will begin on the 1st of March. The BAPS Hindu temple has 402 pillars and 7 spires. The entire temple complex is spread over 27 acres. The temple is 108 feet high and 260 feet wide. This BAPS Hindu temple embraces the message of love, spirituality, non-violence, tolerance and global brotherhood. Stories from the Vedic period and mythological period are carved on the walls of the temple. India's PM also mentioned how the temple displays unity in diversity.
हमें विविधता में बैर नहीं दिखता, हमें विविधता ही विशेषता लगती है। आज वैश्विक संघर्षों और चुनौतियों के सामने ये विचार हमें एक विश्वास देता है, मानवता में हमारे विश्वास को मजबूत करता है। इस मंदिर में आपको पग पग पर विविधता में विश्वास की ये झलक दिखेगी। मंदिर की दीवारों पर हिंदू धर्म के साथ साथ इजिप्ट की हायरोग्लिफ और बाइबल की, कुरान की कहानियां भी उकेरी गई है।
The sacred water of Ganga, Yamuna has been installed in the temple. Prime Minister Modi offered prayers as he honored the holy rivers of India at the temple. A replica of the stream of holy rivers has also been carved in the center point of the temple.
हमारे मन एक दूसरे से जुड़े, हमारे संकल्प एकजुट हो, मानवीय एकता का यह आह्वान ही हमारे आध्यात्म का मूल भाव रहा है। हमारे मंदिर इन शिक्षाओं के, इन संकल्पों के केंद्र रहे हैं। इन मंदिरों में हम एक स्वर में ये घोष करते हैं कि प्राणियों में सद्भावना हो, विश्व का कल्याण हो। मंदिरों में वेद की जिन ऋचाओं का पाठ होता है वो हमें सिखाती हैं वसुधैव कुटुंबकम, अर्थात पूरी पृथ्वी ही हमारा परिवार है। इस विचार को लेकर आज भारत विश्व शांति के अपने मिशन के लिए प्रयास कर रहा है।
India's Prime Minister Modi also inscribed with his own hands India's message of universal brotherhood, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This newly built temple will impart India's eternal message of peace, cooperation, equality and welfare to the world. Bureau Report, DD India.
The inauguration of the BAPS Hindu temple in Abu Dhabi was attended by UAE's Minister of Tolerance and Coexistence, Sheikh Nahyan bin Mubarak Al Nahyan. And he praised Prime Minister Modi and said that it was an honor to have received him in their country. He said that the countries would work together to strengthen the great relations that they share.
On this blessed occasion of inaugurating this impressive temple, we recall your stirring words when you describe the philosophy of your government, together with all, progress for all. We also express our great confidence that your visit and your presence here this evening bode well for a future of mutual understanding, cooperation, peaceful pursuit, and joint ventures between our two countries.
Prime Minister Modi's Dubai visit also saw him giving a clarion call for reform of global institutions, along with stressing on the need to create global prototypes for emerging challenges like artificial intelligence and crypto. This was part of the Prime Minister's keynote address at the World Government Summit in Dubai. Here's more.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the World Government Summit in UAE's Dubai on Wednesday. This year's theme is Shaping Future Governments. The Indian Prime Minister highlighted his beliefs of an ideal government and expressed how governments which are inclusive, take everyone along, are clean and free from corruption.
आज विश्व को आवश्यकता है ऐसी सरकारों की जो ईज ऑफ लिविंग, ईज ऑफ जस्टिस, ईज ऑफ मोबिलिटी, ईज ऑफ इनोवेशन और ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस को अपनी प्राथमिकता बनाकर चले.
Throwing light on the support and trust of Indians on the Indian government, Prime Minister Modi mentioned that India has seen transformation in every sector and people's trust in the government has increased.
बीते वर्षों में भारत सरकार पर देश के लोगों का भरोसा और मजबूत हुआ है। लोगों को हमारी सरकार के इंटेंट और कमिटमेंट दोनों पर पूरा भरोसा है। ये कैसे हुआ? क्योंकि हमने गवर्नेंस में जन भावनाओं को प्राथमिकता दी है। हम देशवासियों की जरूरत के प्रति संवेदनशील है।
India's Prime Minister also pressed on the fact that the Global South must be heard. He also emphasized on the need to share resources and technologies like AI and added that keeping national sovereignty in mind, international law must be respected.
हमें ग्लोबल साउथ की आवाज सुननी होगी, उनकी प्राथमिकताओं को सामने लाना होगा। हमें जरूरतमंद देशों के साथ अपने रिसोर्सेस और अपनी कैपेबिलिटीज को शेयर करना होगा। हमें एआई, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस और क्रिप्टो करेंसी, साइबर क्राइम ऐसे पैदा हो रही चुनौतियों के लिए ग्लोबल प्रोटोकॉल बनाने होंगे। हमें अपनी नेशनल सॉवरेनिटी को प्राथमिकता देते हुए इंटरनेशनल लॉ की मर्यादा भी रखनी होगी।
Earlier in the day, deepening India's economic linkages with the UAE and the world, the Indian Prime Minister, along with Vice President and Prime Minister of UAE, Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, virtually laid the foundation stone for Bharat Mart in Jebel Ali. On the sidelines of the World Government Summit, Prime Minister held bilateral meetings with Madagascar President, an important partner of India's Saga vision. As per a social media post by the Indian Prime Minister, ways to boost trade and cultural linkages were discussed between the two nations. India's Prime Minister also met with the Prime Minister of UAE, Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Bureau Report, DD, India.
At the World Government Summit in Dubai, the Dubai government signed an MOU with Joby Sky Sports to initiate flying taxis in the city. This may well mark the beginning of a new phase in public transport. DD India correspondent Subianto caught up with the CEO of Dubai's public transport agency. Let's listen.
Ever thought of flying on a flying taxi? That could soon be a reality for people in Dubai. I'm joined by the CEO of Dubai's transport agency, Mr. Ahmed. Welcome to Doordarshan. Thank you for speaking to us. Tell us, by when can we see these taxis flying in the skies of Dubai?
Well, the plan hopefully is by 2026. Okay. So we have just signed recently at this World Government Summit. We signed two very important agreements. They are very important milestones and partnerships for us to bring this service to life in Dubai. The first is with Joby Aviation, which is an American company which is going to be providing the aircrafts as well as operating and maintaining the service in Dubai. And the second partnership is with Skyports Infrastructure. They are a UK-based company.
How does this work? Will it be what model are you thinking of to implement it?
So from a customer experience point of view, it will be very similar to ordering, for example, an e-hail trip, an Uber trip, for example. You will have an app, you will be able to select your destination, and we will probably be linking the air taxi service with another mode of service. So we are responsible for all modes of mobility in the city of Dubai.
What would be the pricing of this? What could be the price of the tickets for this?
So we have not yet decided the final pricing. It's a bit too early for that. However, we are not just doing this service for a certain group of people, maybe only tourists or people who have wealth or business people. That's not the idea. The idea that eventually this will become a very important part of the mobility ecosystem in the city of Dubai, and therefore it needs to be priced similar to other transportation systems. The first phase of the taxi will have 4 vertiports. One will be near the airport, the other one is an area called downtown, which is around the Burj Khalifa area, Palm Jumeirah, as well as the marina area. These are the 4 vertiports that will be part of the first phase of the project. We will start with 6 aircrafts, exactly like the aircraft you see here. And of course, there will be potential to expand depending on how the demand grows.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed, for speaking to Doordarshan. This is completely energy efficient. It runs on battery, does not require fuel. So this could perhaps change how movement and mobility is looked at in Dubai, and could also be expanded to other cities and to other countries as well. With camera person Ravinder, this is Subianto model from Dubai for DD India.
Well, still to come here on DD India Live. In a surprise move, Nawaz Sharif nominates brother Shahbaz Sharif as the prime ministerial candidate of his party. Polling for the presidential and legislative elections in Indonesia close. The defense minister looks like a winner. The military spending hits record highs among NATO countries.
Growth, development, science and technology. A voice of progress, a voice of unity. Watch Voice of the Global South with me, Akshay Dongre, only on DD India. Voice of a rising aspirational world. Stories of challenges, struggles and accomplishment. A world battling conflict, hunger and poverty. Embracing growth, development, science and technology. A voice of progress, a voice of unity. Watch Voice of the Global South with me, Akshay Dongre, only on DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. My name is Mark Lin. Now, the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz has nominated its President Shahbaz Sharif as the prime ministerial candidate of Pakistan instead of the party chief and the three-time former Premier Nawaz Sharif. Taking to X, the Pakistan Muslim League spokesperson Maryam Aurangzeb said that the PMLN chief Nawaz Sharif, who is 74 years, has nominated his younger brother Shahbaz Sharif, who is 72 years, as the prime ministerial candidate. And his daughter Maryam Nawaz, who is 50 years old, is the party's nominee for the chief minister's post of Punjab province.
Pakistan is a polity pulling in different directions held together by the glue of convenience, not quite connivance. A coalition of PMLN and PPP with Shahbaz Sharif as a candidate for Prime Minister.
Now, when the parliament is about to come into existence, our war will be against the challenges facing this country. The first and number one challenge is to make our economy stand on its feet. This challenge itself is like a Himalaya.
However, the co-chairman of the PPP, former President Asif Ali Zardari, expects former Premier Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf to be part of the reconciliation process. Could this be because his party has just 54 seats in the House and is hoping to piggy bank on the collective strength of PTI-affiliated independents? Or could all parties be looking at a democratic revival through olive branch politics?
We have to do reconciliation and PTI is part of this reconciliation. We don't want that PTI is not part of this reconciliation. Every political force should be part of reconciliation.
The elections have raised more questions than answers. Supporters of Imran Khan believe the system was rigged from the start. Surely their votes could count for something. They voted for a candidate who wasn't even allowed to contest. What does that say of a free and fair system?
No, I'm not the only one who is disappointed. The entire nation is dismayed. Everyone is upset and everyone is feeling let down because all the agencies and other government people started hounding the person that the entire nation has selected. Imran Khan is the only one who can make this nation better. No one else can do it.
The caretaker government, which presided over the elections, is convinced that it did its job without fear or favour. This despite major world powers doubting the veracity of the poll process.
If we have to investigate, if we have to inquire, we will not that do on the demand of either United States or United Kingdom or EU. We have got our own procedures. We are a sovereign country. We have got our own laws.
all said and done, Shehbaz Sharif has the backing of his brother, former Premier Nawaz Sharif. Together, the PMLN and PPP account for 134 seats, a simple majority in the 264-seat legislature. Their coalition would also apply across the provinces, with Nawaz's daughter Maryam likely to be Chief Minister of the influential Punjab province. Bureau Report, DD India.
The Indonesian Defence Minister Prabowo Subianto declared victory in the presidential election on Wednesday after unofficial vote counts showed him with a huge lead among his opponents. And, of course, he's on course for a single-round win. Crucially, Prabowo has the tacit backing of the outgoing President Joko Widodo in the elections. Meanwhile, the presidential contender Anies Baswedan said that he would respect the final election result but called on his supporters to monitor the official tally of votes by the Election Commission. Millions of people cast their ballots in the country's presidential election, which is both for the national and provincial governments. However, heavy rains and flooding forced the election authorities to delay polls in Demak Regency, which is in central Java. North Korea on Wednesday fired multiple cruise missiles off the eastern coastal city of Wonsan. South Korea's military said that the missiles were launched in the early hours of the morning. Meanwhile, the US has supported Japan's efforts to hold talks with North Korea and hopes that any dialogue would seek to resolve issues ranging from regional security to human rights. In Myanmar, the nation's ruling military has called up the retired security personnel to return to work. This comes as the army is struggling to crush an anti-junta insurgency in Myanmar. The Southeast Asian nation has been in turmoil since the military seized power from the elected government in 2021 and a coup, and plans by the junta to call up more people point in the direction of growing pressure.
This law is literally regarding to the return of retired security personnel. The former members of the security forces who retired within 5 years, counting from your retirement dates, are responsible to return to the service in the army. Among the eligible number, only necessary people need to serve back the army.
Several missile strikes hit a hospital in eastern Ukraine. According to Ukraine officials, several missile attacks on the town of Selivdov in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region had damaged a hospital and destroyed a dozen residential flats and injured several people. The Donetsk governor, Vadim Filashkin, said on social media that 100 patients were evacuated to hospitals in nearby towns, while another strike destroyed several apartments and injured at least 4 people, including 2 children. The U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said that the United States would not back down from supporting Ukraine in the short and the long term, even as the President Joe Biden's administration has run out of money for Kiev.
The Kremlin keeps on betting that we will all lose interest in Ukraine and that our support will flicker and fade. But I am more determined than ever, and I know that you are as well. This contact group remains resolute, undaunted, and firm. And make no mistake, the United States continues to stand foursquare with Ukraine. And America will continue to support Ukraine's principled fight against Putin's imperial aggression.
The overall military spending hit another record among NATO countries as 18 out of 31 nations will hit the target of 2% in defense spending of their gross domestic product in 2024. While speaking at a news conference in Brussels, the NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg said on Wednesday that European states would invest a combined total of $380 billion in defense this year. The new figures come days after the former U.S. President Donald Trump had shocked Europeans by suggesting that the U.S. might not protect NATO allies who are not spending enough on defense as Russia-Ukraine conflict continues.
This year, I expect 18 allies to spend 2% of the GDP on defense. That is another record number. In 2024, NATO allies in Europe will invest a combined total of $380 billion in defense. For the first time, this amounts to 2% of their combined GDP. So we are making real progress.
The Indian Navy is holding a mega exercise, the Milan 2024, off its eastern coast in Visakhapatnam. 51 friendly navies are participating. Here's Nandita Dagar's report.
51 navies of the world will be participating in an international maritime exercise organized by the Indian Navy on and off the coast of Visakhapatnam from the 19th of February to the 27th of February. This is the Milan 2024 exercise, where 15 navies will also be sending 35 of their warships and aircrafts. Also, on 21st of February, this Milan exercise will be formally inaugurated by the Defence Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh. On the 22nd of February, there will be an international city parade in the city of Destiny or Visakhapatnam.
A series of events happening, including an international maritime exposition. There is also a maritime technical exhibition happening. There is a city parade planned, and there are junior officers interactions happening. So all this is part of the harbour phase, which is from 19th to 23rd of February.
Apart from the harbour phase, which will see professional interactions between the junior sailors, sports activities, etc., the business end of the Milan 2024 will be the sea phase from 24th to 27th February, wherein anti-submarine warfare, air defence and tactical exercises will be carried out by these navies in unison. And the motto, of course, of Milan 2024 is united by the oceans. It is part of the Sagar initiative, or security and growth for all in the region initiative by the Modi government. With camera person AK in New Delhi, this is Nandita Dagar for DD India.
And host India will be playing England in the third test at Saurashtra Cricket Ground in Rajkot from Thursday. After India's remarkable comeback in the second test at Visakhapatnam, the series is well poised for an interesting show. For the remainder of the series, it's tied 1-1. And that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live. Let's know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Mark Lynn. From all of us here, thanks very much for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.